We're so sorry that you can't be here in person. I know you probably have all sorts of questions, and we'll try to answer as many of them as we can. If we miss any, just get in touch with us and we'll do our best. I'm sure you are all in different situations at home, feeling locked down, wondering how this is all going to turn out. And we're very much doing all of the same thing. We're trying hard to keep our community together. That's a pretty big deal. We're trying to figure out how to sing together remotely. I've urged all of our students to try to find ways to be useful in their own communities, either by being virtual tutors or doing shopping for people that can't get out of their houses, that kind of thing. Because all of us here find that being useful in the community that you live in is actually not only sort of a basic human obligation, but is actually very rewarding and is going to make all of us get through this much more easily. So there's lots of things that you can see on our website and in the view book. Lots of program. We've got probably more teachers in program than any school this size has a right to have. But there's some of the most important things here are less visible. They're not things that it's all that easy to take pictures of. Probably the most important, the one that sort of pervades everything else at Putney, is the student leadership and student agency, the extent to which this place really belongs to the students, and they understand that it's their responsibility to make things happen and to help make decisions and to create the kind of living environment that we want to have. We actually started the leadership process of choosing our leaders for next year just before spring break. And so we have our 2 new student heads of school already working. And during the course of the spring, even though we have to do it remotely, we'll be electing student trustees and people that are going to run the work program and people that run the standards committee and the student dorm heads and the admissions committee. And all of these are jobs that have real work and real authority in the community. They matter. This isn't window dressing. And a lot of this shouldn't be that surprising. Our culture as a whole, in the United States at least, I think radically underestimates teenagers. I think when young people come into an organization that assumes that they will be capable and trustworthy, they become that. And we have found that certainly to be true here at the school. We know that teenagers don't know everything, but with adults around them to help them and to consult with them and to work in partnership with them, it's amazing what can get done. There's a quote from Teddy Roosevelt who said, if someone asks you to do a job, say, sure I can, and then get busy and figure out how to do it. And that's sort of our motto, that we learn by doing, and we give students all sorts of opportunities to try things that they haven't done before. And they come out with this sort of general feeling of all-purpose competence, which I really love to watch. Don't be fooled by the sort of informality of the Putney experience. We are informal. We do not dress up very often. But we are deeply serious about the educational program that we have here. And being deeply serious about it doesn't mean we actually can't have a lot of fun and do really creative things. But we are educationally doing what much of the educational world is striving to become at this point. The Wall Street Journal, which is a pretty hardcore, not progressive institution, recommended coding, arts education, interdisciplinary learning, emotional intelligence, and self-directed learning as the 5 things that schools ought to be doing. And Putney has been doing all of those since 1935. And we're trying to do that, well, not the coding. We're trying to do them all better and to do them in new ways and to be constantly examining our pedagogy. But we none of this is accidental. And as we are right now, as we're making this video, we are also working on training our teachers in this next week to deliver classes remotely and to do that kind of education. And they've already got such a head start because of the way they think about what the purposes are of what they're doing. So we do all of this stuff every day in a whole range of ways. We're very idealistic and we're very pragmatic all at the same time. So look at all our materials, think about who you are, what you want, and then call us up and ask questions or send us emails, and we'll try to be as helpful as we possibly can as you make a decision about where to go to high school, because that is a huge deal. It's an important decision.